Severe weather saved Washington, D.C. from destruction that day as the British took cover. For legendsoffaith.org, I'm Rob Cutter. The troops were tired and exhausted. The Americans were 2 years into the 1812 war. It was not going well for the United States. The British decided to anchor in the Baltimore Harbor and begin a march toward Washington, D.C. 5,000 British troops were headed toward the capital. In a poorly planned attempt to stop the British, 7,000 American troops could not hold back the enemy, leaving the road wide open. Feeling confident, the British marched toward the capital and began setting fires throughout the city. Block after block, fires were everywhere, including the Capitol. When the British soldiers began marching toward the White House, President Madison, Dolly Madison, and Secretary of State James Monroe hurried and gathered as many belongings as they could. The British were banging on the doors with their battering rams. The occupants quickly escaped through the back when the front doors were breached. The entire city was in jeopardy of being destroyed. Then things began to change. Little did the British know, the prayers of America would prove stronger than any army. Suddenly, thick black clouds began rolling in, the winds were getting stronger, and thunder could be heard, with bolts of lightning streaking across the sky. To make matters worse for the British, a tornado appears, destroying most of their weapons, including their cannons. Everything was flying everywhere. Trees, buildings, horse carriages, and more. The British scrambled for cover. During the storm, more British soldiers were killed by flying debris than by the guns of the American resistance. There is no doubt that the tornadoes and storms that struck Washington that day was divine intervention. The fires were extinguished, and the British limped back to their ships and departed back to England. Afterwards, James Madison had a day of fasting and prayer, giving thanks to God for the protection of our nation. To be able to hear more stories like this and for ways to donate, visit us at legendsoffaith.org.